Last time we completed working on the hero section. Today, let's continue with that and let's continue on another section. So, there are so many sections you can think of when you are working as a web designer, specifically for a landing page. But it's not more about which sections to put, it's more about storytelling. It's more about what do you want the user to know? How do you want the user to feel? So the primary idea of this landing page is to sell the product, right? This time the product being web development and design service. So how do we do that? In my experience, the best way to do that is simple. It's simply just to share as much work as possible. You let your work speak for you. But that's not always easy to do. For example, we have a 10 by 24 heights, so I'm just going to add the same amount here for a separate section. You can see everything here just became messed up. I'm going to take everything and I'm going to constrain to the top left here for this to work properly. So if I do the same thing again, this will work much better. Okay, great. So at this point, I can't really just transition into my works. You can, in technicality, you can, but in reality, it would be better if you have a transitional section. Now, creating a transitional section shouldn't be just wasting some screen real estate. It should be done, it should be studied before it's done. It should be done with care, okay? So what will we do? We're just going to make a sort of like a banner, and it's going to be like a banner that you see outside or flyers, but it's going to be having a great transition into all of the work that we have done. The reason I want to do that is because I want to create anticipation. Okay, so anticipation is where in web design is where you show some parts of the next section so that the user will want to scroll. You see that many times when people have like desktop views screens here, and when they scroll, you see uh, like the full section next up. So this having a screen like this, it just creates anticipation. Now saying that, uh, anticipation this time it's going to be done because we want the user to want to see our work first. We're not going to just show it. We're just going to create some sort of anticipation. Then when we finally show our work, it will feel even better. So how do we do that? How do we go about by doing that? Obviously, we're going to be creating a new section here. But before that, I'm going to make our lives easier by working a bit on our design system. So we have this design system, but we have been neglecting it a bit. So let's work on it for a second here. I'm going to take this font, and we already have a medium and a small. This will actually be an extra large. Actually, it's going to be around 2XL. 2XL. It's going to be regular, and it's going to be auto. Actually, its line height should be. Its line height is currently 90%. Meaning it is just a bit compact. So I'm just going to say full and compact for the layer spacing. Like I can explain to you how this naming convention work, but you can do it however way you want. The way I do it is -2% layer spacing is most of the time for me. I'm going to call it compact. And this full is where from 81% to 100%, I called it full. Now, I got these numbers and this convention from working on many different projects, but you can do whatever works for you best. So I'm just going to create that. Now I'm going to select this one and I'm going to do the same thing, but here I'm just going to assign it since we already have everything we need. Now we have the rest in the proper areas. Now, one more thing here is I'm going to go to our design system. And if you remember, we have corner radiuses or corner radii, I think. And one of them is small, 8 pixels. But I want another one called full. And this full will be 999. Actually, I'm going to make it 9,000. 999. This basically is, we can apply it here to see. This basically is round. For like rectangles, uh, this becomes a pill-shaped container. So let's take this. This is going to be corner full. And let's now go back into the design. We have our system ready. So now our design will be much easier to work with. So let's first collapse some of these parts here. I want to take everything here except the nav. I'm going to take everything here. I'm going to Control G and I'm going to group it into the hero section. So hero section. And I'm going to take the hero section below the nav bar just to have some sort of hierarchy. Now let's start. How are we going to start? I'm going to start from the background, as always. I'm going to start for this section. For this section, I'm going to use a pink background just to create separation from what is here and what is to come. So also, you might know that like banners and flyers and stuff like that, most of the time they do have colorful backgrounds to take attention. So I'm just going to take a rectangle here. It should be the same size of this as the section. It should be 1920 by 1200. Actually, it should be 1440 by 1200. 1440. Okay. Okay, it should be 720. 1024, I mean. 1440 by 1024. Then I'm going to call this the background and I'm going to give it a color which is our primary pink color. Great, so this will be the second section. I'm going to lock it for now. And what do I want in this section? First of all, I like to start from the primary element of the section. In this case, it's going to be our headline, a tagline. The tagline would be, in this case, over 16 years of building incredible, I think it was incredible web experiences. Now, this course is not really an writing course, but just copy this text. I might have something like that writing course in the future, maybe, who knows. But for now, we're just gonna stick to this. I'm gonna make it our primary text here. And you can see everything that is applied. And I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna drag it in. So I'm gonna make it around here. Okay, so around here. 16 years of building incredible experience. Okay, so now at this point, what I want to do is I don't want to have black on pink here. Instead, what I want to do is I'm gonna take this black color and apply the pink 100 color. So now it's a pink on pink, but this is a much darker pink. I mean, it maintains contrast while actually fitting the style that we are going for here. Okay, next up, I want to add some more sections here. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to copy some text here and let's paste it here. And for this one, we're just going to have the same fill color, which is pink 100 that we already have. And we're going to make it our small color. So small, regular, auto. By the way, one thing I forgot to add is in the system here, we should probably take this and add our 2XL. So this will be 2XL. That is, I believe, around 108 pixels, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 108 pixels. It's going to be regular. And this will be condensed, I think. Actually, it should be full with around 90% in this case. And this one should be compact, -2%. Okay, great. Let's go back here. Now we have this, and all that remains is we don't want it to be full length. We don't want people to turn their heads so much to read this. So I'm gonna drag it in. So maybe just around here. Just around here. This looks fine. So I'm just gonna place it anywhere. It doesn't matter. We're gonna fix it in a minute here. So we are saying that over 16 years of building experiences. So I'm gonna create, sorry here, I'm gonna create, I'm just gonna say 800 M plus. So 800 million plus. Maybe that's money generated. Maybe yeah, so probably, right? So $800 million plus. So I'm just gonna put this just here. Now I'm just gonna simplify this course, and I'm gonna respect your time. So I'm not gonna show you everything. You have to experiment with some things. But the idea of this is when the user maybe hovers over it, it will show a little description, like something like this, where it says we have 800, our clients have generated 800 million plus dollars through our work, uh, or profited this much. You can have that, and I'm gonna leave that to you. Yeah, but I'm just gonna. What this does is it creates intrigue, and if you have like stats like this, like okay, for example, this is a fictional company. This website is being created for a company that does not exist, and this website won't be published, won't be public. Uh, so it doesn't matter. But if I was having a real, I was building for a real company, and that company say had this stats where they have $800 million plus profits for their clients, then I'm gonna put this right here because that's what you want. You want bragging. You want, if you have large numbers like this, you want to emphasize them. So it's there when you're building a website, a landing page, especially for enterprise companies. There is no being modest. So if you have them, you put them right here. Great. So I'm just gonna place it again anywhere. It doesn't matter for now. Next up, I want our logo here. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this. Actually, I'm gonna go to branding, and I have this logo. I'm gonna create a new component variant here. This is gonna be the default. I like to name everything in lowercase default, and this is gonna be pink dark. So for this one, we're gonna switch off the color to be just full pink, the dark pink. So just put this inside of a layout around, I'm gonna go around 32 pixels, I think. Place them side by side, 64 by 64. Then I'm gonna take this, push it up a bit here. I think it should be 40 pixels to maintain the correct order here. And for this one, we can do whatever you want. I'm gonna place it, actually not that one. Doesn't matter what you do. For now, I'm just gonna make it our primary pink color since it has the highest contrast. Now what we can do is okay, actually this one should be the logo gradient. So now we can just copy this and paste it here. Let's bring it over here. And now we can just take it up and change it from its, okay. Okay, let's redo this. Let's copy this from here, from the branding. Let's copy the logo. Let's go back to design system, and let's Control Shift R here. Okay, maybe let's go for some reason. Oh, okay, no problem. We are using a different one for that. Anyway, we're just gonna paste our logo here and change it from default to the pink dark. And now we can just take this and increase the size a bit here. I'm gonna go with around 89 here, just making it bigger. Actually, for the height, I think 64 heights. I think that's perfect. I think that's actually good since we want to maintain the rule of divisibility, and 64 is divisible by 8. So I think that's fine. And I'm gonna place this anywhere again. I'm gonna worry about placing them in the right position later. Now, the last thing, I want to have some tags associated with it. So obviously we needed this. Uh, since we still want our branding to be the main focus. So as you don't look at flyers without the logo of the company posting them. So that's like I'm taking a graphic design sort of style for the website as a whole. You can see this is not just a regular website. It's has more graphics design embedded into it. Uh, so yeah, as the company itself also focus on graphics design. So I think it's a good place to put that. So here, let's create some tags. How are we going to create some tags? We can actually do the same thing we did for our buttons. I'm just going to let's take this one. And let's put this right here on top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create tags. And I'm going to start by using our full cone radius. Then I want the background here to be white, and I don't really want any stroke. And for the color, I want it to be the pink 100. Great. So this is our tag basically. But I want to have 16 by 16, maybe a bit more, 24 by 24. The reason I wanted to make it 24 by 24, 16 by 16, and not like this one, like 32 by 16, is because we already associate when they're padding on the sides is greater, we already associate that with buttons, and this is not a button, and we don't want people to be mistaken with that. So just making it a regular tag. Regular tags most of the time has the same padding on the left and right and the top and bottom. So I'm gonna create around 4 of them here, 3, 4. The first one should be web design. This will just describe what we do, what the company does. The second one would be web development. Okay. Another one here would be mobile design. And the last one would be graphics design in general. Design. So I'm going to take all of these, Shift A, put them inside of a container, and I'm going to rename them. Here, I'm going to rename this container tags. And for each of them, I'm going to call this tag. And actually, we need to introduce components into our design. So I'm going to create a new page here. And I'm going to call it components, components. And I'm going to take one of the tags here. Let's just take this one, copy it from there, paste it, and I call this text. And here I'm going to have tags. And let's give it a background color the same as our design. Okay, 64 by 64, 32. I'm just preparing it here. Nothing really new. Okay, so I'm just going to make this into a component. Now I can just copy it and bring it over here. And for each of them, I want to replace them. Control Shift R. Okay. Make sure to copy this one and Control Shift R. So now we have this, and we can rewrite that here. So since we have something repeating many times, we made it a component so that it's reusable. And when we want to edit one part of this component, the changes apply everywhere in the page. So I always do this. I start by making everything just a regular element, and once I see the need to like repeat it again and again, then I make a component. Okay. So web design here, web development. Next up, it was mobile design, I believe, and graphics design. By the way, you can switch from one element to another by hitting tab if they're next to each other on the layers panel. So just a quick tip there. So graphics design here, and I want there to be some spacing in between. I don't want to be stuck like this. So around 16 pixel spacing, and we have our tags. Now we are almost ready. I want to make this more interesting by just making this large piece of text. I want to make it more interesting. Since it's the central focal point of this whole section, we can't just let it be just bland like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy building. I'm going to select 3 important parts of this text group here, and one is going to be building, another one I think should be incredible, and the last one should be experiences. So building incredible experiences, right? So here I'm going to paste the building, and I'm going to put it inside of a frame. There won't be any gaps here. No, I'm 32 by 32. Maybe actually it should be a bit smaller. I'm going to go 8 by 8 padding, and I'm going to make it a pill container. And I'm going to give it a background color of our mint color. Also, it should be white since there isn't enough contrast. Now, I don't want there to be spaces like this where there isn't enough spacing on the edges, so I'm just going to have to increase the padding on both sides. That's good, but it's not enough. I'm going to go 24 by 24. Okay. So now we can I'm not going to delete this. I'm just going to bring this and overlay it just here. And I can see it's covering most of the text, so I have to adjust the padding, especially on the top and bottom here. So if I go around 16 pixels, okay, we can decrease the opacity to place it in the correct position here, and I'll make it around 50. So we can just align it. Okay, something like this. Now we can take the opacity back to 100. Okay. And great. So next up, I'm going to take this, duplicate it. Here, I'm going to change this to be incredible. Here for the first one, both of them text containers. For this one, I'm going to change the color here. I'm going to make this white, and I'm going to make the actual text with our dark pink color. Again, I'm going to overlay it. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the opacity once more just to set it up correctly. So around here, right? So then return the opacity to what it was. And I want to take this, put it on top here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and increase the line height so that things are not overlapping as much. Yes, something like this. So I'm going to decrease it just a bit. I'm going to go 96. Okay. We're going to work on the design system later on. But for now, we can just finish this, working on this. So now we have to realign this, I believe. So make it 50% again and just realign this. Great. And the same thing should apply here. Okay, so now you can see everything's proper, but I'm just gonna take this just up here. Uh, you can see it breaks a bit of the guide that we were working with, but actually it's perfect because as I've told you on the start of this course, when you get to a certain level of experience, you will know when to break the rules and when to keep them. For example, here we should break the rules because it's more interesting. We are breaking the rule of alignment. If we take a ruler here, it's not aligned. You can see the two texts are not aligned, but I think it's completely fine because at this point we know what we are doing. Uh, and I'm gonna raise this up just a bit here. Okay. Then I'm gonna go to the experiences part, the last part, and I'm not gonna create a separate pill container for that. Instead, I'm just gonna make it oblique, which means like italicized. Then I'm gonna make it oblique bold. So now we have a very interesting tagline like this. So remember that we have spoken about creating something that is connected to graphics design in a very intricate way. So this connected to graphics design more than just web design. That's what I meant. So I probably will have a course one day in the future about graphics design. But as a designer, web designer, if you have some principles of graphic design and you have the eyes for this sort of stuff, it will be very beneficial for you. So headline, I'm gonna call this headline. Then I think we are almost done here. We just have to position it perfectly. And we're going to be doing that in the next parts. We're going to be positioning everything here where it should be. And also, we're just going to be setting up some of the design systems here. We have to keep on doing this so that as our design grows and as there comes more pages and more stuff like that, it's going to be easier to maintain. So yeah, that's all for today. Thanks again. Thank you very, very much for the support on this series so far. You guys seem to be liking it so much. We're gonna be continuing next time with this section, and I have a couple of sections in mind, including something like testimonials, obviously a footer, the grid layout for presenting our work. And it's going to be a couple of sections, but I think we could cover so much information about web design and UI UX design in general in those short parts. Again, thanks for watching. That's all for today. Until next time, goodbye.